Here we go. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average gunfight enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video is we're going to talk about some key ways that will cause you to lose a gunfight in your Minecraft server. Now, keep in mind, if these are the things that are going to cause you to lose a gunfight, the adverse of that, if you apply the lessons from this video, you may survive the gunfight, okay? So that is the purpose, to hopefully teach somebody something or just convey something that maybe you already knew as a reminder, okay? Real quick, guys, leave a worm emoji. It is Valentine's Day. Shout out to all the girlfriends out there that keep asking you, hey, would you still love me if I was a worm? Probably not. But hey, post down below your worm emoji and let me know, would you still love me if I was a worm? Okay, with that being said, guys, Patreon, it's $5 a month. It gets you access to our Discord server. Now, Trench, why would I want to be in the Discord server? Because it's where we stay up late and talk about all your favorite gunfight experiences or all your favorite AR builds or whatever you got going on. Consider becoming a member of the Patreon. It's less than a cup of coffee a month, and it keeps me motivated to stand here and talk to you in front of a random whiteboard with everything going on with work, okay? Like the video if you enjoy it, and Instagram. Check it out. You know the deal. It's where I do all the lifting and all the things. Okay, so losing a gunfight. Gunfight is typically, a definition is two people engaging each other, whether with poor intentions, good intentions, whatever, doesn't matter, okay? But let's talk about it. Okay, fear. Fear. So fear is obviously going to be a key thing, but with fear is going to become the inability to move. If fear overwhelms you and you stay stationary, that is going to be the quickest way for you to become dead in your Minecraft server. So keep that in mind. If you let fear overwhelm you and you're not able to maneuver on the enemy, that is how you die. One key reason in the army, we like to say, find, fix, and finish. Okay, so find the enemy, fix them, aka keep them in place, and then finish them. The reason find, fix, finish is a saying is because once you fix them, if they can't move, then they can't fight. If they can't fight, then they're going to die where they sit. Okay, so if you let fear overwhelm you, and it inhibits your ability to maneuver on the enemy, then yeah, you're going to lose the gunfight, okay? So you got to be able to control fear. You got to realize that you're going to be terrified, but you have to be able to control that terror, okay? Does that make sense? Noise doesn't kill them, slugs kill them. What does that mean? That means you just shooting at them, but missing, okay, isn't going to do anything. Yes, being shot at isn't like paintball, right? So it's going to maybe suppress them. But what you need to understand is simply shooting doesn't do anything other than initially gain fire superiority. Bullets kill them. Slugs kill them. So you need to be accurate. You need to actually hit the things you're aiming at, okay? Because if you're really, really quick on the draw and you just start ripping rounds like your favorite YouTuber does with their build drill, well, guess what? The guy that's faster but more accurate is the one that's going to win. So just remember, noise doesn't kill them. Bullets kill them. Okay. With that being said, ammo. So whoever has the most amount of ammo in a gunfight will typically win. What that means is you get a lot of these idiots in the comments that are like, I just want a 308 or I just want a 7.62 by 39 because it's a bigger bullet and I think I'll win. Here's the reality. Whoever has more bullets is most likely going to win. If you look at World War II, the M1 Garand, right? The Americans were able to outmaneuver because of our rate of fire and our ammo availability, okay? If you look at why the 5.56 and the 5.45 were both adopted, it was to give the riflemen the ability to have more ammo. Whoever has the most ammo in a gunfight, whether it's squad on squad or person on person, whoever is able to stay in the fight longer will win. So ammo, you need to have a lot of it, and it needs to be easily accessible, okay? Now, that doesn't mean, well, let's talk about it this way. If you have a guy, I'm not going to get into the weeds, but more ammo is better, okay? More ammo is more better. It sounds like someone's going to be like, obviously more ammo is more better. Yes, but what I'm saying is, a lot of you guys are really avid 308 enjoyers or something like that. I would advocate that you stay away from that and go more towards a lighter, easier to carry option, okay? Commonality of ammo. If you're in your squad or your team everyone should have the same type of ammo. It should never be, I'm going to run this and you're going to run that. No, everyone should have the same thing. I recommend 5.56, but that's up to you, and it's your gunfight, okay? Your gun, your gunfight. If you decide to go against this and you're like, I'm going to bring 4 308 magazines because I think it'll be better because more stopping power or something crazy, well, guess what? If you don't have commonality of ammo amongst your squad members, then it's going to be a serious problem. So more ammo, more better, obviously. Comms. Okay, we're going to start getting into the reality. If you can't actually shoot, move, and communicate, now there's a reason communicate is part of that, because if you can't communicate with your teammates, say your teammate was going to maneuver on the enemy or outflank the enemy, but there was some sort of situation where he couldn't, or that element could not fully outmaneuver that enemy, how are they going to communicate that they're coming back? How are you going to communicate? Because when things are happening, it's happening too quick for you to go off one set of one plan or one simple battle drill, okay? So a lack of communication, whether it be radios or visual, you need to always be able to be in visual contact with your partner or with your battle buddy, okay? So you need to be in visual contact or have some other means of communication, whether that be a VS-17 panel, IR chem light on a piece of 550 that you use as a lasso. You need to have some sort of communication, preferably radio, with your teammates or your partner, because if you don't, then that's another way that you're going to lose the gunfight. So if you don't have comms, you need to consider getting comms at the squad level, okay? Because a squad maneuvering with comms or a platoon maneuvering with comms is always going to beat a platoon maneuvering without comms, even if that platoon maneuvering without comms is some Special Forces Delta CAG operator. Guess what? It doesn't matter. The squad with more communication is always going to win, okay? Fire superiority. Whenever you get into a gunfight, you need to put more bullets towards them than they're putting at you. Whoever wins the initial volley of fire superiority is typically who's going to win the gunfight. So that means if you get in contact with the enemy, you need to put more bullets at them than they're putting at you off the rip. You need to instantly gain fire superiority or you're going to lose. But Trench, didn't you just tell me that noise doesn't kill them? Correct. Noise does not kill them, but in the initial volley of fire, you need to put more stuff at them than they're putting at you or you're going to lose the fight because you're going to get fixed and then you're going to be finished, okay? Movement. We already talked about it a little bit. The first person that is unable to move is the first person that dies. Go watch whatever, I'm about to sneeze, go watch whatever, stand by. Go watch whatever cop footage you want to see or whatever Ukraine footage, okay? You're going to notice that whenever one party is unable to maneuver anymore and they get fixed, that is when they die. So movement is going to be key. Now I want to talk about one thing on movement. Down here, I don't know who drew it, but this is a tree. What you typically see is people want to use trees as cover, even though they do not stop bullets hardly at all. So they try to get behind cover and they try to get right next to it. What we like to call in the infantry, what we call this is tree cancer. Tree cancer is simply like a little tumor at the bottom of a tree. So if you're going to take cover behind a tree and you're fighting anybody that knows what's up, you're probably going to die pretty quick. So movement, okay? Do not stay in one place for very long. Try to use other terrain other than trees, okay? And if you're in any sort of war zone, the trees are going to be non-existent after the first couple months anyway. But don't use things like the corner of a tree, because then we call that tree cancer, and that's how you get killed. These two very well-drawn buildings, okay, we're going to assume down the middle is a street or whatever. Same situation applies. People like to hug the corners of buildings like right here, okay? Building cancer. That's a good way to die. Staying in a very common place where bullets like to go, okay, is a good way to die in a gunfight. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to be tree cancer or building cancer, that's up to you. But just realize bullets will always naturally attract that spot because people generally are not stupid. It only takes a couple situations where you realize that is where people are going to hide. Okay. The number one rule of a gunfight, guys. The number one rule of a gunfight, what do you think it is? It's not winning the gunfight, okay? It's surviving the gunfight. It's not killing them, it's just surviving. So if you don't go into a gunfight with the idea of, oh, I just want to beat them and destroy them. No, that's not the end goal. The end goal is to survive the gunfight. That is the number one rule of a gunfight, okay? Speed. You have to rapidly react to the things that are happening around you. You can't sit there and think forever, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? You're already dead. Okay, so speed, the speed at which you maneuver, the speed at which you gain fire superiority, the speed at which you communicate to your teammates. If you do not quickly articulate what needs to happen and actually act on what's happening, then you're going to die. Okay, so speed. Speed is security. Sometimes seeing what's happening or reacting to what's happening in a gunfight is going to be, if you maneuver faster than the enemy, will save your life. So speed can be security. Armor. If you're going to get in a gunfight, you're going to need front and back plates and a ballistic helmet. So if you're getting into a gunfight with just a chest rig, God help you, okay? So just something to think about. One other thing on armor. Just because you have armor on, say I had my body armor on, okay, and my helmet. Well, if I turn even barely off skew to you, you can still kill me, okay? Because armor is very much a compromise. We're not like medieval knights wearing massive level 4 plates all over my body, right? No. So armor is very much a compromise. So just because you have body armor doesn't mean you're going to win the gunfight, but it does help, okay? Something to keep in mind. But yes, even if you didn't have side plates and you get shot on the side, you're still dead, okay? Blue on blue. Confusion, fog of war, you name it. But blue on blue or friendly fire, okay? Friendly fire is not friendly, but with that being said, you need to have communications because any sort of blue on blue is going to be tragic. You need to have some sort of easily identifiable feature. Your little small flag is not enough. You need a large enough identifiable feature so that way your teammates can actively identify you quickly, okay? Whether that's a certain type of uniform, but if everyone's wearing multicam, you're going to have a different way to easily identify your kit. Look at what's going on around the world, okay? Reliability. You buy once, you cry once, you've heard the deal, but if you're carrying some handgun or some rifle that you know is not reliable, you're going to lose the gunfight, okay? Even the best guns in the world in a gunfight malfunction because there's dirt, debris, blood, obstructions, okay? If you're shooting in and around structures, brass can deflect back into the weapon, anything, okay? You may drop your weapon, you may engage, and the slide may not reciprocate. So you need to already have 100% the most reliable gun you can get, because when you get in a gunfight, you're going to drastically begin reducing or increasing, I guess, the chances of a malfunction. You're going to reduce the reliability just being in a gunfight. Okay, malfunctions do happen in real life. Even the best guns malfunction. Okay. What do we got here? Gear. Okay, gear simplicity. Yes, gear simplicity. So having some sort of elaborate kit setup, it needs to be very simple and repeatable. It must always be repeatable. That is one of the tenets of your gear setup and selection. It must always be repeatable, and you must always know where everything's at. You shouldn't be making drastic gear changes, because if you make drastic gear changes or your gear is overall cumbersome or uncomfortable, then it's not going to be easily applied or repeatable. So if your gear looks like trash, you're probably going to lose a gunfight, okay? Yeah, so in summary, guys, number one rule of a gunfight is survive the gunfight or avoid the gunfight. But if you're in it, you need to survive it. Try to use some of these rules to help keep you alive in your Minecraft server. If you enjoy the channel, consider becoming a member of the Patreon. It keeps me motivated to actually be here and to actually stand here and waste my time talking to a camera, okay? Remember, if you would still love me if I was a worm, post down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. And until next time, guys, this is going to be Trench Grenade, your average gunfight survivor that your mom said that we have at home, signing out. Cheers.